Hi and welcome to another episode of the Getting Things Done podcast from GTD Nordic. I am Morten and Røvik and I'm here as always with my good friend and colleague Lars Rothschild Henriksen. Привет, Lars.
David, Morten, good to see you as always, and as always looking forward to recording another episode for our listeners and viewers out there. The purpose of our podcast is to help you learn GTD or become an even better GTDer, so we hope that today's episode supports you in that. And if you're new to GTD, we always recommend you go back and listen to episodes 1 through 6 to get an introduction to the basics of getting things done. This is episode number 71, I believe we agreed on, and today's topic is GTD and your summer holiday.
Yes, and that entails you are going to have a summer holiday, and I think we both are. And the question one might ask oneself is why? Why have a vacation? No, of course we know why you will have a vacation or a holiday, but why prepare for this? Why is it important to make good preparations? And I think that what we will discuss today will be you need to do something before and then during the vacation. How would you all the things you can do in a vacation? Are you going to do something work related, or are you going to do something like that? And we have different preferences on this, right? At least for this year. I might change next year. I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah, we don't know. We are trying things out, and we have touched upon this topic before. So some of you who will go back will understand that we do actually change our habits, or at least the way that our protocols for handling a vacation. So and that is normal. It's allowed to change. It's allowed to experiment. That's part of getting things done. So now, Lars, how do you prepare for your vacation, and why would you even care to prepare for a vacation, getting things done wise?
Yeah, I actually just wanted to take a step back and go for that first question, because that's a nice reflection, I think, for some people to just reflect on why you would want to do that, and also to maybe align some of your activities with the higher horizons, and maybe even start to establish them as depending on where you are in your GTD journey. So the reason for me to go back and get ready for a vacation is, well, what's the purpose of the vacation for me? For me, it is to spend time, stay present with friends and family that I know I will be spending time with during this year's summer holiday. So that would be the key reason for me, to be able to be as present as possible with them, enjoy the different adventures that we will engage in during this year's summer holiday. What about you?
No, the same with me. I'm trying to, I'm not trying to. I've been defining my desired outcome for vacations before, and that has actually worked really well. My desired outcome for summer vacation is to relax, re-energize, recharge the batteries, be inspired, and just basically enjoy life and be present in the moment. And we are not going to do this the last year, but last year we the epiphany or my I wouldn't call it epiphany. What is that called? The epicenter or the peak of a vacation for me is often has been the last few years something with the sea, and to sail is one of my passions. We are not going to do that this year, but we're going to go for some boat trips that we know, and just to relax in the sun and swim and feel the sun on your body and just be. That is vacation for me. So, and that is my desired outcome, that full part. And if you look at that as the desired outcome, how do I get there? How do I prepare for this, and what do I do when I am on vacation? So we talked a little about this in the pre-show, and we do know that a lot of the things that we are communicated through now are basically, at least for external communication, is email, and sometimes phone calls and sometimes SMSs, but preferably email is the biggest channel, at least for me. I'm guessing it's the same for you, Lars. And how do you prepare your email for vacation? What's your strategy?
Well, for me, with regards to email, as always, it's in general terms, it's of course an inbox to stay on top of as part of your GTD practice, and I'll make sure to do that to the best of my abilities as we approach the summer holidays. One thing to look out for me is to make sure that I am on top of things, meaning that if there are people that are awaiting an answer from me, that I will either get them that answer or be sure to communicate to them that, things are moving a bit fast now, might not be able to make it before the summer vacation. Let's maybe set up a meeting afterwards or whatever the case might be. And then, of course, the good old out of office. Make sure that is set up very nice and clean. In my case, I will typically set it up to trigger just maybe the day or a day or two before I actually go on vacation. Just because, what I've found is that I really, those emails that let's say the Friday is my last working day. I really don't like those emails that show up Friday at 3 p.m. that I won't get to, and they can really take up a
really big.
Yeah,
I know them.
They can really take up, a part of my ability to stay present during the summer holiday. So I'll be sure to set that up to trigger and go out to people sending me emails before I actually go on vacation. And I might in some cases actually do the same at the end of the vacation as well, just to give me a few days to get back on top. But that does vary a bit. What do you do?
Well, I do the same. I start my email vacation a day before my real vacation, and just for the same reason as you do, is that if you send someone an email on a Friday and you understand they're on vacation, your expectations are lowered, especially if you define how they can expect, what kind of response they can expect. So if you do it on a Thursday before the Friday emails that are, hi, I'm on vacation, I'll be back 2 days after I'm back, you don't tell them, but you put the date in there so the people, you have a couple of days, and it can, I do not read emails this summer. That might be your case. I read email when I find time. We will discuss that later on, but just to set the expectations on when you send me an email during my vacation, how and when can you expect an answer? So and to set up as an out of office reply, that helps a lot. Do you use an answering machine on your mobile? Do you use that?
Yeah, exactly. And I might go in and change that as well to let people know that that I might be, just more easily accessible via text, because that's also what you'll be finding in my out of office is to state the dates where I'll be gone. But also, if you need my response urgently, please do send me a text. That's a standard part of my out of office email. And it really, it gives me a sense of calm that I know that people will have received that. They ideally have also read it and saw that, to reach me, they will need to send me a text. And otherwise, I'll get back to them as soon as I can when I'm back from my vacation.
And if you have to get back to people after the vacation, how do you handle that during the vacation? I'm curious about how you handle it. So if I call you, I leave a message. Hey Lars, is King Harald of Norway here? I wanted to do GTD for the castle. Can you come? We need Danish speaking.
All the time. He keeps calling.
Yeah.
No, I would capture that and just really throw it in my inbox. In case it was the king, I might put it in the calendar to make sure I call back as soon as I was back. But otherwise, I would generally capture that in my list manager in my inbox, and because I know that's one of the first things that I'll be processing when I get back is to walk through that and pick up on those. Would you do the same, or how would you do it?
Yeah, if I got a call during my vacation, Sometimes I want the calls to happen, but and I will explain later a little bit why. But some of the calls I will just text people back, but I don't have an answering machine message.
Okay.
So if people call, I will either, when I see them call, I've set up a template for I'm on a vacation, I'm back this and here. If it's nothing urgent, I'll call you. I'll get back to you then. If it is urgent, please send me an SMS about what it is, and we can set up a call.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
makes
no, that's
it.
a good strategy. Yeah, I would typically go in there and I would, so I have the answering machine. If they left a message, I will typically listen to it, because otherwise that will just be in my head. I
Yeah.
know my brain will not
Yeah.
say that. I have to go in there and listen if
I
they
am
left a message.
curious.
Yeah, exactly. If they did not leave a message, I will typically just really practically go into my calls app on my phone, and I would copy the phone number, and I will throw that in my inbox with a note saying when they called, because then I'll have that as a reference, and try to give them a call back when I'm back.
Yeah, me too. And let me just backtrack, because I have one exception of my rules for that, but I will get back to that. But if you just take a step back again, because I think there is more for us to cover during before the vacation, in preparation for the vacation, because email is one thing, but how do you handle your commitments, your actions, and your projects, work and private? Do you have a strategy for that?
Yeah, so one thing I'll be sure to do is do a good, solid weekly review, to really go through and really look through all of the support material on all the projects, and really dive into that,
Me too.
to really be well prepared, and really get that good solid mind sweep in there, in case there might be something lurking in there that you haven't captured yet, that you might want to handle before your vacation. That will be sure to go chasing for that. I can hear that's what you would do as well.
Exactly. So, okay. So one of the things I do when I do this is, because sometimes I'll need to look at my system during my vacation. Like if I capture in OmniFocus that I use, I tend to be distracted if there are some projects that are active and visible for me. So what I do is that when I go for a vacation, is that you have the possibility to pause a project, and then you can in OmniFocus, and that makes it also, you can set up a view where you will see only active projects, which means that if I go for my projects, I will see no projects. I'm really free, and that helps me focus on that. I'm not supposed to do work in my vacation time unless it's really urgent, because I'm as you, I'm very easily distracted. Show me something shiny, as David would say. I will be looking at something interesting, and so I really need to clean the deck, or clear the deck in my OmniFocus to feel good about this. Do you do something like this, or do you have another
No, and I
strategy,
do
or you
really
don't need
envy
it?
that feature. Yeah, no, I do envy that feature, because obviously that's a very OmniFocus specific feature to set that review frequency on different projects, and I don't have that same option in my list manager, so can't really replicate that on my end.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you probably also wouldn't find me in the projects list. So if we switch to
Next
focusing
actions
on
lists, maybe. I
yeah,
don't know.
exactly, and those I would go to. So let's say we are now during the vacation. For me specifically this year, it'll be 2 weeks in Norway, 1 week in the summer house up there, and 1 week camping with my wife and the boys, and then 1 week in our summer house in Denmark. So in that last week, for example, you'll probably find me in that next actions list on all the stuff that I could be doing around the summer house that I want to have on my list there. So in that case, I would specifically go for the labels that I use for the summer house, and then review that to see if that's something I want to do.
Yeah, And just to be clear, that for those of you who are using OmniFocus, it's the project pausing I'm talking about. So when you pause a project, you can have a view where you see only active projects and only perspective. So it's but you can in Todoist drag and drop things in and out of folders, right?
Absolutely, yeah. You can drag it all around any way you want.
Yes, exactly. So if you have after the vacation, I will look at this folder projects, or just projects on pause or on hold or something. Yeah.
And I would, in the case where I actually do need to go and have a look at my projects, let's say that there was some project that I wanted to work on during our summer break in the summer house. They will already be grouped in my system, so based on areas of focus, and they will have a separate, I would call it a project group that I would then aim for, and then just expand that and see the different projects that we have going on right now. Three or four different ones, I think, at the moment.
And now I'm hearing some person trying to kill our podcast. There's somebody drilling somewhere in my vicinity outside the window, so I just shut the window. No, but okay, so that's before vacations. Do you do anything else as a preparation?
I think the last one I would want to mention would be to block my calendar a bit. I mentioned on this podcast before, and I'll mention it probably again, that there's an optimistic version of me before the summer holiday that tends to really be happy and think that we can do a lot of work when we get back. So let's just schedule that and put it in the calendar. And I already see a pretty busy August right now, so I'm very cautious about putting too much in there, because I really saw that last year that I had very much overcommitted to different things. So this year I'm really focusing on that, blocking my calendar. If you go in there right now, you won't find a lot of room in my calendar for the rest actually of this month. And the same will be the case when I'm back. This year is slightly different because my vacation is so briefly, in Denmark, most people will be on vacation from in weeks 28, 29, and 30. This year for me, it's 27, 28, 29. So I'll be back in a vacation week for most people. So there's just naturally more room in my calendar there, but it's something I'm very much focused on to not put too much stuff in there.
Exactly. So I do this more or less the same thing, but I have been... and just one more thing to add to that is that I think you also use the feature where you can book a meeting with you, and I use that actively and frequently, and especially if you want to, talk to me about something you are interested in, you can have an online calendar. You can book my time, and I'm.
For coaching clients or people that are interested in coaching, for example, will often send us an email about this, maybe even listeners from the podcast. So that's a great feature to have, to send people to that link so we can set our meeting and talk about whether coaching would be a good approach for you.
Yeah, and what I do then is that one of my preparations on my checklist for prepare for vacation is to make sure that calendar isn't continuing into July, because that has happened. That when I go for a vacation, the time is available for people to book, and no, I'm on vacation. I'm sorry, you can't book my time now. So just to make sure that that's not happening, and I will then also block my calendar for on not available, and where people who want internally or externally can't call me for a meeting, that they will have a auto reply that I'm sorry, but Morten is not available for a meeting on that time.
I just got one of those the other day, so I know that is set up for you.
Yeah, I understand it works, and it clears the decks, and it also helps people communicate without communicating. I don't have to tell you I'm on a vacation, because you will understand I'm on a vacation when you try to book a meeting while I'm on a vacation. So I think that covers it for me for preparation, except for one thing, is that I always set up a folder or a label, as it is in Gmail, for I call it to be answered after the vacation. And I know you will not have this because your email inbox will be brimful when you come back, because you have a different approach to this than me. So what's your during the vacation? How are you taking vacation?
That is a leading question, because I will not be looking at my emails there. No, and I do remember that tip from I think when we spoke about it last year or maybe the year before in the podcast as well. And I think that's a great tip to, make it easier to stay on top of things when you get back, and staying in the driver's seat with that inbox zero approach. We take the same approach in Denmark when we do, like I did a seminar last week, and we had many people actually reached inbox zero during that seminar. They were a really good group already.
Yeah.
And some,
are they enthusiastic? Yes, they are.
yes, they were. And so in that case, for those that didn't make it, set aside a folder with the remaining ones to just get into the habit of having that zero inbox is a great approach. And obviously that's the same that you're doing. But no, what you're hinting at is that I have taken the serious step of not checking my emails during this summer vacation. So just like you said in the beginning, we do things differently and try things out sometimes. And I went completely offline a few years back and really appreciated that. I didn't think last year was the right time for me to do that. I think this year it will be again. So I will be offline, and that will be stated clearly in my email as well, that if you do need to get in touch with me, you certainly can send me a text and I will get back to you. Otherwise, you'll hear from me when I'm back from my vacation. And unrelated to the vacation, I also just recently deleted my mail app on my phone again. I work much better if you don't give me the opportunity to do something. So I could have that and just not check it, but it'll, whenever I just, often, at least when I tend to install that email app on my phone, it'll tend to become one of the most frequently used apps. So it'll be right there looking at me, waiting for me. So in that case, it's easier for me to just get rid of it. And so far I really like it. And, let's talk again in August, and I might have installed it again.
Yeah, well, it is. We are, and it's. I think both you and I, Lars, are. You have your brothers from another mother or something. I don't know if that's possible to say, but it is. We are scatterbrained, if or at least maybe not scatterbrained, but we are very easily distracted and pulled into things and that are attracted to us in some sort, and to be aware of that, and then to uninstall the app itself. Some people just turn off the push notifications, or some people might even benefit just to not have the notifications as a number of unread emails. I do that. I haven't had that for a long time. I don't uninstall the app, but I don't have any, this red circles with a number inside. And that is the creation of evil. And yes, it is. And it pulls me in. I don't like that. I want to be the master of my focus. Don't mess with me. So I'm turning that off all the time. I'm a weak person. Don't use my weakness. So
I uninstalled the Facebook app and the LinkedIn app, but it's all gone.
Oh, okay. So I've not done that, but I've turned off notifications for both of them, and it's But as long as you have some kind of the feeling that you are in control of this, that's the most important thing. And
the way that I have done it right now, because with that, let's call it scatterbrained, I also have the Fomo part of really what might happen, what might be in there. So in that case, I have let's say a procrastination device that I can open, which is, I have the apps on my iPad. So I know that I can just go there and look if I actually do want to go in there and have a look at what's going on LinkedIn or email or whatever it might be. But I find that oftentimes I don't like responding to emails on my phone. The consequence of that is that I will go in there, I might read an email.
And you get
It
cognitive
might take
dissonance. I
me
have to do something about
exactly.
this, and I can't.
So I'll look at that, and so that would then lead me to, for example, the action folder approach. So let's move emails to the action folder, and then I'm, playing around with that. I've been using that for a while now. I want to get back to getting those emails back on my list instead, so they don't, because they'll tend, in my case, to take up too much of my focus. They'll be too enticing. There'll be that action folder in there. There's 25 emails waiting for me. And I'm sure all those 25 people are just, standing there looking at their screen, waiting for me to respond to that email. So I just go in there and get that done. It'll really just, take way too much of my attention. So I'm
Dear
trying to be better.
dear listeners and viewers, I'm sure that by now you understand that Lars and I just are human beings. We have the same problems as the rest of you. The only difference is that we are maybe more in touch with our weaknesses, and we have a system called Getting Things Done to try and avoid overwhelm and full-on stress. So, but good on you, Lars.
But it might be the case. You never know. The king might have sent me an email by now as we're recording. Who knows?
Yeah. How about have Sille, your wife, read your email for you to look at something?
Exactly. Well, that'd be nice. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I might. I'm not saying I will, but I'm a little inspired by your Go Cold Turkey email. And the only reason that I read email in the summertime is, or in the vacation time, is that very, very seldom there's something that's urgent. But sometimes in the summertime, I get emails from journalists who want me to be participate in a radio program or just be interviewed for an article they want to write, and being an entrepreneur, small business owner, we are, it's, at least for me, it helps when people writes about you or want to interview you or do a radio. People are, the ones who are not then working, the ones that are working and still reading something will have something valuable that I can give them. But I am, and that's why I read email during my vacation. But maybe I should then just say that if you're a journalist, out of office reply, if you're a journalist, please send me an SMS. I really want to hear from you. And I want to take time out of my vacation to talk to you because you are important for me. And the rest of you, sorry.
I was just going to say that kind of implicitly says something.
I'll have to find a wording where I will not alienate all the potential clients out there or existing clients. So okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And otherwise, I mean, during the summer, you'll find my inbox to be capturing a lot of stuff as it shows up. I think if I reflect back on the past year's vacation, it'll have a pretty clear trend towards a lot of stuff showing up at the beginning, and then slowly slowing down as the vacation progresses. And it typically will pick up again when I do my half-year review, as I spoke about a few years ago on the podcast as well. I'll this year be again taking a walk somewhere alone in the mountains of Norway, somewhere for some hours, just alone, and just sitting down, reflecting on the higher horizons, and really looking forward to that. And obviously there will be a lot of stuff being captured there, so it's not like I won't be thinking of work at all during the vacation, just mainly triggered from my half-year review. I think that'll be that's my expectation. Let's check in again after the summer holidays. Yeah.
And we will do a check-in episode for you after the vacation. We are, getting back on the GTD horse or on your game again after vacation is probably an episode we will make, or at least we are talking about it. So stay tuned. If I'm going to not doing my out of office reply for the journalists, I want to draw an alternative for people that are in the need of staying in touch with what kind of strategies can you have? My strategies that worked for me. You might want to have another schedule for this, but one strategy has been for me to do this 1 hour a day, or often very early in the morning. I'm an early riser, so I get up at 6:30 or something like this, even on vacation. And people go, "Ooh, he's crazy." No, but that's my rhythm of the day. So I get up early. It's not very early, but it's for vacation. People will say, "Why are you doing this?" But I like the silence of the morning, and then I set aside 1 hour in early morning to read and respond to emails that I feel need a respond, but I don't do anything else. So if it's not urgent or important, you're in the answered after vacation folder. And I'm just doing a little triage there. So one is answered after the vacation. If there is if it is easy and fast, less than 2 minutes, next actions, I will do that. But the rest that is not actionable is deleted or archived. So it is a way to do a triage so that I can then, because I'm that, if I don't have that, I feel my fear of missing out, my Fomo hits me. Something is going to happen now. There are some emails here. You haven't read them, Morten, or they're going to get you. So
but doesn't that? I think if I took that approach, because like I said, I did that pretty much last year. Just checked in every 2 days. But I would find that if I respond to people, I would sort of set the expectations for them that I will be able to respond again if they wrote back to me in 30 minutes, or they'll be that might actually create more cognitive dissonance than staying away from the inbox. But I guess that does not happen to you.
No, well, I'm in that email. I have a text expander snippet saying, that FYI, I'm on vacation. I'm answering you now, but don't expect an answer quickly. It might take a few days before I get back to you. So when I respond, and I need my MacBook to do this, so that's I have to open it, and I have to boot Chrome to get into the Gmail and to do that. So it is a and I do my very best not to read emails on my phone unless I'm waiting for something important, and I'm on the go. So and another thing is that when I'm on vacation, often I have the internet that we have are really spotty, because we travel. My wife and I would travel to Turkey, and travel inside Turkey, and Turkey has 4G, and I'm sure they will have 4G. They have even 4.5G, which is kind of interesting. I think it is what we call LTE. And real 4G, not fake 4G, but it is spotty, and so and it is like both water and electricity in parts of Turkey. It's sometimes not existing. So they sometimes stop the water for a couple of hours, and sometimes electricity goes, so you don't have. So that's.
We had that in Norway. We had a cabin that had absolutely no water and no electricity. So.
And even may have an outdoor toilet. So I know that. That's called vacation for Norwegians, and some Danes I hear. So, but on a permanent basis, where you are expecting running water and expecting electricity and expecting 4G coverage, it's a surprise sometimes if you get it, and you are then happy, praising the higher mights of the internet and interwebs and electricity people and water people, saying that thank you, we have water today. So our internet. So no, but that gives that is a little difficult traveling. So I'm setting myself up to a little stress. I'm more and more leaning towards now doing the Lars approach for vacation, going cold turkey. But before, just go back to that, I will read my emails. I will do a triage where I emails that needs responding, that can wait to after my vacation will be in my after vacation folder, and 2 minutes will be 2 minutes, and delete. I'm deleting a lot and archiving a lot. That's not something that I need to get done. And responding to that emails I need to get to respond to, like from the journalist. But that's been my approach, an hour a day maximum, because I'm like you, I can get pulled into things. And when you're on a vacation, you should be on a vacation and unwind. So I feel I'm more and more attracted to the Lars method. I understand. it's a better approach for me. So, okay. So, do you have anything to add to this, Lars? So,
no, I think we covered pretty much what I had in mind about, setting yourself up for having a good vacation, and talked a bit about the different strategies for how you might use GTD during a vacation. So the system might still come into play if you do want to use it, still capturing away with all the good stuff that might show up. And, no, I think we covered pretty much all on my list.
Yeah. And the only thing that I would like to add is that for capturing, I'm a little hesitant to say this because we are fresh out of Zebra pens for the capture wallet, but I'm loving my capture wallet when I'm on the Zebra pen in Japan. They stopped making them, so now it's a little crease in our little web shop, more than 2 of them. But I love my capture wallet when I'm on a vacation because I need cards, I need cash, I need to take it with me, and I need to be able, to write things out of my head as they show up, and I also use a little plastic zip lock. I would call it bag, but it is like a Ziploc envelope of a enforced plastic with the grid reinforcement in nylon, and that works really well. That's my inbox. So I capture it in my wallet, and I then just toss it in there, and then that follows in the backpack wherever we go. So I have my ideas and potential to-dos, next actions are captured somewhere. That I know I will get back to, and that is safe and sound. So, are we at the end of this episode, Lars?
I think we are.
Yeah. Then will you take us out, please?
I will. Because we always wrap up these episodes with a quick reminder to head on over to gtdnordic.com to have a look around, because on that website, as many of you listeners already know, you can find the country websites for each of the Nordic countries. And on each of those sites, you'll find articles about GTD, links to the newsletters, all that good stuff, including all of our offerings regarding speeches, coaching, and seminars, both the physical and virtual ones. If you're outside the Nordics, gettingthingsdone.com is the place to go to find your local partners. And as always, we really hope that you find these episodes valuable. And if this episode or GTD in general has made a difference in your life, then please help us by spreading the message to more people with a rating on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen. It really helps other people discover and learn GTD, which is why we are here. And then lastly, wishing you a great summer vacation. This is our last episode before the summer break, so we plan to be back on August 17.
Exactly. But then with an episode that will help you get back on your game.
Let's do that.
Yeah. And I just want to say thank you to all who's, rating us, giving us a thumbs up. And we have a lot of emails from people giving us thumbs up. I look at Spotify now. We have 19, I think, 5-star ratings, which is, wow, thank you. Keep them coming. We need them. Just to get the word out there. A lot of people will search for getting things done, and if you have high star ratings, we will be higher up in the pile of potential podcasts you can listen to. So thank you for doing that. And until next time, have a great vacation and stay safe and stay productive. Bye bye.
Bye everyone.